I'm back with another movement massage. So yesterday was my 1-year anniversary of my first hip replacement, my left hip, and to celebrate, I taught a 6 a.m. DEFY cycle class. I taught a 7 a.m. private session, bar flow for runners, and then I taught a DEFY flow motion type of therapy class at 9 a.m. for my studio. So 3 classes, 6, 7, and 9, and then I did everything I had to do all day long, and then right around 6 p.m. me and my son went on our favorite hike to celebrate me making it a full year. And that hike was about 4 miles long, and I definitely did it a lot slower. We did it a lot slower than what we had done before this current hip replacement, which is only 4 months old, so I didn't expect any more than what I did, and I celebrated it. But today I woke up with some soreness, okay? And really where I'm feeling it is more in the ankle and the Achilles and underneath through the arch, okay, of the foot. To me, movement reveals all. I've never had this problem before. It just has never happened to me before. I've never had a foot problem. But lately I've had a lot of clients who have had problems with their feet, okay? I have to tell you, every time clients come to me with something, it's almost like I develop their same symptoms out of, I don't know. I think it's just what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to feel bits and pieces of your guys' pain so that I can really figure it out. I can use my body and my own pain to be my coach, to be my teacher, and then whatever I find out that works for me, I get to deliver it to you as your coach. So I always say to my students and my clients, movement reveals all. And I'm not scared of pain, and I don't want you guys to be scared of pain. We are all living with pain. Do not be under the impression that some people out there are living a pain-free life. If they're 30 or above, I can promise you they have stiffness, they have athletic injuries, they have everyday injuries, they have an office body. There is so much going on with people's bodies these days. They do too much of one workout, whether it be CrossFit or yoga or running or cycling. They just do too much, and the body forms in that position. It forms for that sport, and sooner or later it starts to create tightness and pain within the body. So even if they're not injured yet, I'm not saying they're going to get injured, but even though they're not injured, that does not mean that people are living in the absence of pain, okay, and stiffness. So I let my pain be my best friend, because pain is communication. And after last night's hike, my first one since, I don't even know when the last time I did a hike, to tell you the truth. It had to have been like last October, more than likely. And then my first hike since October, and then my first hike since this new hip, 4 months since this new hip. The reason why I tell you all that is because the hike revealed something to me. It revealed that there's something going on in my Achilles area, the plantar fasciitis, that area where people suffer from plantar fasciitis. The outer part of my heel is tender a little bit. I'm feeling something. That hike revealed to me that something is truly going on. And guess what? I get to explore. I get to find out why. And that's my favorite thing to do. And I eventually want to help you make it your favorite thing to do. So now I've already rambled on way too much. I promised myself I'd keep these things short and sweet so you guys would pay attention. But I guess if you're having feet problems, you're gonna stay tuned right now and keep paying attention, because this is gonna be important. So anyway, I've developed some foot stuff, okay? And never had that before in my life, but I'm not freaking out. I'm going to figure it out, okay? So here's what I've already figured out and why I have no pain. Like now, like none, okay? That's a good thing. So what I did worked on me, and that's really what I teach to AgeDEFY. Everything that I teach, every pose and movement and flow that I create has been created from my own movement exploration, that my pain, exploring my pain and finding out the reason why and finding myself around it and beyond it, so I can be active and youthful and healthy, even as an injured mover, and or gosh, now I might be labeled as either mid 40s or late 40s at 46, right? So I have a lot working against me. I'm 46 years old. I have 2 brand new hip replacements that are just a year old. 4 years and 12 months, or 4 months and 12 months, that's it. And I've got a lot working against me, but guess what? I've got a lot going for me too. And I want you to feel that way about yourself. So the foot that's bothering me today, right now, is this one. And I'm getting it here. Okay? This reveals something to me. I can't ignore this, and I can't keep going as is either. I have to work this line out. So the first thing I do, and join me, please go ahead and sit on the floor, if you can. You're gonna prop up. Even if you don't have feet problems, foot problems, please do this anyway. It's important. You'll prop your knee up into your elbow so that you can hold. You don't have to do anything because we're not focusing on the hip right now. We're not focusing on anything. We want to try to get in this position. And where I have pain, I just, like a feather-like light touch. I just kind of touch it. I connect to it. I tell it I'm coming. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like a lot of times our bodies are screaming in pain because they don't trust us. So my first approach is to make my body and to make your body trust us. To say, hey, we've got this. I hear you, I feel you, and I'm ready to figure it out. I'm ready to help. So that's what I do. This is how I start, okay? Now I pause and I just take a moment. Then what I did, okay, I'm gonna basically do almost like a releve in this weird position. Spin the inner heel up and in, and then put the foot down, and that's gonna stretch out this line actively. I'm doing pada bandha in my toes. I'm trying to reach the big toe to the ground. You can tell it's not there, but I'm trying to reach because I'm getting this active stretch, and it's in a weird position, right? Active stretch. Now, and if you have tight hips or anything wrong, you can grab pillow, blocks, whatever, and put that right here. Put your leg down on it. So I'm okay. My hip, my 12-month hip is great. So I'm just gonna kind of sit down into it. You can find your adjustment as you can. I'm gonna point my toes now, stretch out the front of the ankle. Then I'm gonna pull the toes to the shin and pada bandha right here. Good. Then I'm gonna come to the space between. Not point, not pada bandha, but just the space between. Then I'm gonna push down through the pinky toe to kind of free up the ankle, then put the heel down again. And now I'm just gonna dig my thumb, and I'm gonna really push hard, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna push as hard as I can allow myself to push, and I'm gonna feel all that like congestion, and I can feel that congestion, and I'm just gonna move it around. I'm gonna release this area that I think is so tight, especially from hiking yesterday, and it feels like a deep massage, deep, deep, deep. Good. And I do that for however long I really can, and then I kind of go to the back of my calf muscle, the attachment right here, and I'm just gonna try to go around it and just kind of like massage it with my thumb and my forefinger, just releasing this area. Good, good. Now from here, I'm gonna take my thumbs to the front of the shin, right, the bone, and you're gonna go right alongside of it, and you're gonna do the same thing, pushing hard and then pulling back up, and then right here's the meaty part. I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm just gonna give myself a fingertip massage, just kind of around that line right there. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, I found a tender spot right there. Ooh, that wasn't there earlier. So I found a tender spot, and then I'm just gonna kind of like go like this shearing effect that I'm doing here. Yep, now I can just kind of take it away. Then come off the ground, please. I'm gonna turn the camera up. Next thing I'm gonna do is kind of do an active stretch. So from here, I'm gonna take my feet, AgeDEFY stance. Not too close, not too wide, good. And then watch, I'm gonna bend my knees. Then I'm gonna take the center of my shins and push them towards the knuckles of my toes. Pause. Now I'm going to push down through the nail bed of each big toe, and I'm going to do that so much the heels lift. Push through the toes and push the heels down. Lift, push the heels down. Lift, push the heels down. Lift, push the heels down, and hold. Move the shins forward more. I'm starting to feel the active lengthening of the parts that are so tight on me, right? Push through your toes, lift your heels, tap, lift, tap, lift, tap, hold, go deeper. Whew. Notice how far forward my knees are. My heels have to stay on the ground. Use your big toes. This is what it looks like from the front. Yep. And then slowly come up. Curl your toes under. Curl your toes under. So that was a very fast session. I hope it's of benefit. I hope that it helps. Thank you so much for joining me.